and welcome, my Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Twin Flame contract read, a healing Twin Flame contract read, September, October 2020, or timeless, whenever you're supposed to be catching this. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions. The Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. All my friends do. Well, not all my friends do. Some of my friends insist on calling me Mark. Some even insist on calling me Angelo, which is a little weird, but to each their own. And, I get by with a little help from my friends. If you are new to my channel, please do consider being a friend, liking, subscribing, helping me make my YouTube goals on my YouTube career journey. The reader that I am, 52 years old. I've been reading tarot for 40 years, I think, next spring or something ridiculous like that. So it is my honor and my privilege to be doing this work, but, social media is social. Need your help, my Aries. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, and all that jazz. Particularly my subscribers, thank you so much for doing the same, helping me along the way. And as you know, I've been adding extended readings on Vimeo, and that's what one of these are. Oh my god, 24 readings. You're the first. We are going to be doing something a little different this time. However, I'm sort of learning the ropes of doing the extendeds on 2 different platforms, which is why I want to get membership here, like have the membership option here so I can do it all in one place. But until such time, I figured out, oh my god, make the YouTubes one a little bit shorter and go for it in the extended. So that's what we're doing. We are doing what is called a healing Twin Flame contract read, learning how you can heal yourself in your Twin Flame contracts. Is that what Twin Flame contracts are for? They're not all sexual romantic. You have more than one. And because they are your twin, you are learning from them how to heal yourself, how to love yourself, how to set boundaries for yourself, respect yourself, how to walk away from toxicity. Because, honey, it doesn't matter if it's romantic or sexual. Everybody's got Twin Flame contracts. My father was a Twin Flame contract. And there are links in the description box that can go into that a lot deeper than I care to right now, because saying it 12 times in 1 week is a lot. So that being said, we're only doing 13 cards. We're going to do Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. As usual here, you're going to have to suss out who you are intuitively, so that you can look at what you need to heal within yourself. We're going to be doing an element spread, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, to kind of look at what it is that you want, what you have, what you think, what you feel, and the message of your soul that agreed to this soul contract of Twin Flame with whoever this is in your life. Keeping in mind, the more you learn to heal yourself, the more you learn to love yourself, the more you become the mate of your own soul, and hence bring in more of your soulmates where you help each other heal, including the romantic ones. Go check the series I just did on how to be a soulmate. Otherwise, let's get up in this gig. This is a general read. It's only 13 cards. A lot more are coming for you in the extended. If you jump over, they're only going to be $5 each. So focus on your breath. Be in the present moment. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because you got more than one Twin Flame. And the more you learn how to love, heal, take care of yourself, set boundaries, etc., the better soulmate you are in all your soulmate contracts as well. Cool. So let's do this. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. We're going to start with the Caroline Mace archetype deck, as I usually do with soul contract-based reads. Take a nice deep breath. And here we go. Yeah, 9 decks of cards for these reads. Each one of them is going to be tapped. Oh, my collective pantheons, my beloved angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Here we go. The Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, mid-September to mid-October 2020, or timeless. Who is the Divine Feminine? In the Twin Flame contract, you would have them examined so that they can learn to heal, to love, to grow, become the best that they can be, and fulfill their role in the Divine Plan. Who's the Divine Masculine in this contract while we are at it? Done. Done. The Divine Feminine, we have got the Storyteller archetype, but no tons of those. Oh, and the Divine Masculine, the Rebel. Now this is lovely. As a matter of fact, I can think of 2 people off the top of my head, and the the guy is is the Aries, but we'll keep going with this for the moment. Remember, this has nothing to do with biological gender. This is about energetic dynamic. I am definitely a divine feminine here at home alone with the boys. You put me around the right guy. I don't want to say daddy. That's a stereotype I don't want, but daddy, right? It's like snap in. You put me in front of a pen board as a teacher. I'm divine masculine all over the place. So this is a very interesting thing. Now, because of the element of fire here going on with the Aries, I can really feel this equally balanced on both sides. Let's look at the shadow and the light. The shadow attribute of the storyteller. Making up tales that harm others. I mean, storytelling is an ancient tradition. It's how we passed on information for the longest time, right? And the psychology of storytelling and all of that, and the hero's journey, and why we're drawn to what we're drawn to. Storyteller is a very important soul power to have, but in its shadow, making up tales that harm others. It's one thing if you don't know you're doing it, passing on fake news, although there's another archetype that covers that. Perpetuating stories, right, that harm others. That's a touch of the gossip. But now we look at the light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols, right? Read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Mace. This is her archetype deck. It changed my life, that book. I had it in the original hardcover. I mean, I love Carolyn May. She really did save my life. Never met her. Never met her. It's okay. Don't meet your teachers. Don't meet your heroes. I really believe that, right? They can never live up to the fictions that we have in our mind, the stories that we tell. The Divine Masculine Rebel, though, is fucking hot, though. It's like, you get me a Divine Masculine Rebel, neck tattoo, bad credit rating. I'm all yours, all right? The shadow attribute rejects legitimate authority out of anger. No, none of that going on planet Earth right now. Wear your mask. Rebels out of peer pressure or fashion, which reminds me of not the New Age movement, but the New Wave movement, right? Like punk was just too much for some people, so we had to have the New Wave thing, right? That's not really rebellion. the New Wave, yeah. No. Nobody was choking on their own vomit in New Wave. The light attribute challenges authority to affect social change, huge on planet Earth right now, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. In other words, if your spiritual system is crushing you to pieces with guilt and shame and blame and burning down the house, then, one would naturally hope to rebel against that. So the storyteller and a rebel, these two could fuel each other in really unhealthy ways, right? The storyteller feeding the rebel destructive stories to get them to break legitimate authority, right? To break the rules of legitimate authority, like driving on the correct side of your road. I used to say right side of the road, but then I understand there are people watching from all over the planet. Oh, you want me to drive on the incorrect side of the road? You know the laws, right? Abide them. But certainly these two together could spell volatility, particularly a twin flame. And I get the twin vibe there already. All right, we're doing these a little different this time. What we're going to do is we're going to take the Daughters of the Moon, Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, to clarify what's going on for this storyteller. And we're going to use the Mythic Tarot to do the same for the Rebel, to see what they have in common. Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. I'm going to get all 10 cards on the table, 5 and 5, face down first, and then we'll flip them over element by element. But here's the thing, if you don't know who you are yet, this next layer should help. It's also going to show the similarities and differences of what they really want in this, what they have, what they think, what they feel about the contract, the relationship itself, and then the point of view of the soul, right, who agreed to the contract in and of itself. Take a nice deep breath. You'll see how it goes. Breathe. All right, my goddesses, my collective divine feminines, please. I need 5 cards, element spread for the divine feminine storyteller archetype in this Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign twin flame contract, mid-September to mid-October 2020. Of course, or timeless. Whenever they're supposed to come across this, please. What's the element of fire for this divine feminine storyteller? What is her element of earth? What is her element of air? Just leave it in my hand. Thank you. What is her element of water? There we go. And what is her element of spirit, the point of view or voice of the soul who agreed to the contract in the first place. Now, let's just get his on the table, too. It doesn't take that long, maybe a minute. Breathe. Yeah, my gods, the divine masculines, please. The collective divine masculines of divinity, particularly Aries and Hephaestus, if you would please give me 5 cards in clarity for this divine masculine rebel archetype. In this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, mid-September, mid-October 2020, or timeless. What's their element of fire? What's their element of earth? What's their element of air? What's their element of water? Yeah, you guys ain't screwing around today. And what's the element of spirit, the point of view of their soul, which I just think is so important to know. That do understand now. There's only one more card that has to hit the table. I get it, Mark. Do less cards in the YouTube and more cards in the extended. I get it. It takes me a while to learn. So, element of fire. Remember, we got the Storyteller and the Rebel. What do they want in this contract? Their element of fire. Aww. Well, the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. This is why I do this, right? Because you use 2 different decks, you get some really interesting lineups. So they both essentially want the same thing, but for the Divine Masculine Rebel, 9 of Cups is a wish come true. 10 of Cups, she wants her bliss. Now, I'm going to say him and her, just to keep it straight in my head. Please forgive me. Don't drag me because of that. Please don't cancel me. I've got cats to feed, bills to pay, and skin to keep looking young. So 10 of Cups, Inanna's House of Heaven. Now, I will say, whenever I see the name Inanna, because of my background in Jungian psychology and mythic Joseph Campbell and all of that, the descent into the underworld, Inanna has to embrace her shadow self, her shadow sister, Ereshkigal, which is a little hard to say. And so I connect that, right? There's an emotional triumph in the 10 of Cups, probably some shadow being embraced here. And what is the shadow we're looking at here? Making up tales that harm others. And what about tales that harm yourself, right? When you make up tales of things that you know aren't true, but you hold to them because it is easier than the truth. What are the stories you tell yourself? And do keep in mind, the mind itself, and we'll see in the element of air here, really that's its job, right? When it hears a noise in the distance, it automatically goes into narrative mode, right? To explain what it is until you maybe can find out what it is. So that's very Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now. Go check it out if you haven't. Easy enough to find it for free on audiobook somewhere. Yeah. So the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, that's really lovely. So they both kind of want the same thing. Although for the Rebel, it's like a dream come true. Her, she just wants to complete and just feel it. Feel it, feel it. All right. What do they got? The Earth to get them there. Well, the Fool in this deck is the dreamer. So she really has to take that leap of faith. She has the ability to. Would lead me to think that she's at least willing to start this again, right? To take the leap. And the Divine Masculine, the 3 of Cups, has that friendly, right, connection here. There's an emotional bond here, or is at least emotionally bonded this way. I mean, I can feel for the Storyteller, she wants what she wants, right? I can feel that 10 of Cups, like that bathing, that marinating in those particular Storyteller Rebel juices, right? But is she willing to not just dream the dream, but to jump? It doesn't say she does. It says that she can, the element of Earth. Whether or not she's actually jumped or not will probably play itself out differently depending on who's watching this, right? But for the 3 of Cups, there's definitely a beginning emotional bond here. I mean, everybody wants to make the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Cups about true love and marriage. And to me, that's more 10, right? That's the fulfillment of it. Where do you go after that, right? You start all over again as the 1 and the 0 become the 1 numerologically. But certainly a lot of water indicated here for a fire twin flame, fire sign twin flame. What's going on in their thoughts? Now, as I said, this should be interesting for her. Temperance cards. So now we've got 2 major arcana cards on the table, both on the side of the Divine Feminine, and the 2 of Flames here. Now, the Two of Flames for me is definitely my indecision card, because decision, though it appears mental, it's really about the element of fire. What do you want, right? What does you want? Well, sometimes it's about that, right? Sometimes it might be just the mental back and forth of the Two of Swords for sure, but I call that analysis, right? Figuring it out, thinking it out. Two of Flames here is, do I or don't I? Do I want to or do I not want to? So it's an element of fire thing. Now, that I'm just hearing, because it's a rebel, that could be about, do I want to commit here or do I want to stay free? Oh, gee, a divine masculine rebel, who ever heard of that, right? Where she's, in her mind, at least like, you know what? I'll get through this no matter what. That's what I like to see, right? See, once you get what twin flame contracts are, because the mythology around them is really toxic, go watch some of the links in the description box, particularly Matt Kahn's. He's the last card down in this, because I'm not going to do a YouTube without giving you a Matt Kahn mantra to work. This is really saying it's going to take time, it's going to take alchemy, it's going to take balancing my water and my fire, what I desire and what I feel, but I'm going to be okay. She's going to discipline herself here. So she may not be jumping just yet, so much as she's thinking about, how do I maintain the balance to handle that bliss. Now remember, twin flame, like a soulmate contract, can be a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I've had some amazing twin flame contracts where they weren't so destructive. They usually didn't last very long, but they were hot and passionate. We all understood we had to go our separate ways afterwards. Oh, AOL chat rooms of the 90s. I can't say I miss you, but there are some stories. So moving into their emotional field, okay, this rebel has it bad. Two of Cups in the emotional, and she's got the moon. She don't know. She don't know, but she's got 3 major arcana cards, right? The Fool / Dreamer, Temperance, and the Moon. This guy's all cups, except for that indecision in his mind. So it might be that his ego mind is just ripping him apart on this because of that legitimate. What if the legitimate authority is to follow your path, right? And to follow your passion, follow your bliss, since we talked to Joseph Campbell here. This is really lovely. This is an interesting twin flame, because I really get the feeling the divine feminine here is just so kind of like, well, we'll see the final card, at least for the element spreads, just feels very like, all right, yes, this is what I want. And I believe she has the emotional capacity for it. But the moon, particularly in the water position, talks about great depth, but often things not completely clear, right? Because it's underwater. It's in the subconscious. It's like the subconscious card in the emotional position here. So be careful of the stories. If you're the divine feminine storyteller, if you've felt this out and you know that this is your side here, do you understand the incredibly destructive power of storytelling when it goes into, well, I mean, like horror story, right? American or otherwise, right? Twin flame horror story. Oh, if I ever got to do a TV series, I would want to like reenact like people's twin flame horror stories. It would be fun, sort of, and how they learned to heal afterwards. You could bring in Iyanla Van Zandt, right? Iyanla, fix my ass. Okay, let's see. What is the soul position card? I love Iyanla. She saved my life. Her book, so many women saved my life in this life. In the Meantime, great book. Love her. Would love to meet her, but again, don't meet your heroes. Oh, well, we finally got a major arcana card, and it's the devil, right? So the voice of the soul here, the devil, I'm going to pop up a picture for this. You'll get to see these in their full splendor, but with the Six of Swords, the Six of Blades, I'm loving her, right? Her soul is saying, honey, just keep it in balance, right? Six of Cups is, yes, that journey by water, though it's not about journey by water. It's about moving from choppy waters, tumultuous waters, to smooth. And twin flame contracts are turbulent, right? They're tumultuous. They're unstable in the sense that you never know, right? Like fire, right? But she's learning how to balance herself here with that card of the Temperance. She's thinking this is going to take time. Not sure how she really feels. She may be aware of what's going on emotionally in terms of what she wants to feel. But right now it might be that, she might be trying to really focus her mind on what is. And if you are her, let's put it this way. use the mind to say, is this emotion or is this intuition? Down here is really where we process our relationships with other people, particularly second chakra, umbilical, that feeling, right? You know, somebody hits on you and your second chakra wants to leave the room. That tells you something, right? This definitely feels romantic, I'm going to say it, but she's really doing the mental work, or at least the soul is saying, get your mind balanced here, and considering in her air position, she's got temperance, that's really great. But I'm going to say in terms of his mind, the chains that bind here with the devil card are what's holding him back from making a real decision. So there is probably some toxicity here in terms of vulnerability, in terms of allowing his innocence to show. Hence why the shadow rebel, the rebelling against legitimate authority and ignoring legitimate constraints, he's in constraints, right? He's in chains in some way. So there might be an overcompensation out of fear. There might be some risk-taking going on here. But as far as like to love and allow that to open, although feeling it, Two of Cups emotionally, really feeling it. Now, I'm not going to say that the Two of Cups like is the true love card. I will say that there is a strong emotional connection, and he's even got the maybe the friendship pieces in here with the Three of Cups, like they're already friends, feeling stuff. I don't think he's going to talk about it anytime soon, though. I don't. I get the feeling that this is a twin flame that might be. Both of them want the same things, but there are ties that bind. What? Oh, maybe they could be in different relationships already, right? Oh, gee, that old story? Well, that old story is an ancient story, and it still goes on to this day. Oh, the tangled webs we weave and the chains that bind. All right. So now you get the idea, hopefully, which one you are. Now keep in mind, the last card down we're doing here is a Mat Contra healing mantra. Mat Con healing mantra. Did I say Contra again, like Iran Contra? The Mat Con healing mantra deck. Oh, I'm so throat chakra defined. Because it doesn't matter who's watching this. This is the mantra that's about to hit the table that will help you heal, right? Will help you heal yourself, will help you love yourself, will help you do whatever is necessary to fulfill your role in this contract and maybe complete the contract, right? Fulfill it, complete it, you get the idea. And remember, as you do this, you're healing all of us holographically, regardless of Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus signs. But let's ask. Yes, my Ascended Masters of twin flame contracts. We're back here again. Please, can I get one card in clarity, the perfect healing mantra for this divine feminine storyteller and this divine masculine rebel? In this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract, mid-September, mid-October 2020, please, because they really have the opportunity to learn how to heal themselves, learn how to love themselves, set new boundaries, right? That these twin flames, they are transformative, they are tumultuous, but there's love on the table here too. And just because people are twin flame doesn't mean they love each other. They just usually can't give each other the love they want from each other. That's soulmate. This is twin flame. You have to give yourself the love that they just by contract can't. So please, one card in clarity for these two, my Ascended Masters. Greeting, wellness, balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. So there's something about balance here. Now I will say, we've got the Six of Blades, right? And we've got the Temperance card here, and we've got this, he's got two twos. Tutus. He's wearing tutus. A divine masculine rebel wearing tutus. And he's got the Two of Wands as well as the Two of Cups. I mean, we're going to pop up the picture and look at all of this in a minute. But let me read you what's on this card, because this is about taking care of yourself. I love this card. It's a great mantra. Balance is a key to a life of infinite miracles. Greeting. Wellness. It's the longest one, I think, in the book. Balance is the key to a life of miracles. Here it says infinite miracles on the card. In the book, it just says miracles. When wellness is welcomed, You are taking responsibility for the upkeep and preservation of your body as your sacred vessel of spiritual growth. Now, can I tell you, that seems like such a, yeah, sure, of course now, but that was not always the case. Mortification of the flesh and starving yourself for visions, right? It's like that the body was seen as something evil and bestial and lower, that like the root chakra was and the crown chakra was everything, right? It's like, that's not true. Never was true. But do you get, like, this is, you know, we're not trying to escape our spiritual path through taking care of the body, but to honor it. Right? It's such a brilliant way of saying it, right? Taking responsibility for the upkeep of the preservation of your body as your sacred vessel of spiritual growth. I really like that. In balance, you may come to see how endless wanting only creates more things to want, which may be what's going on here. When operating from patterns of instant gratification, maybe what's going on here, you are likely chasing after happiness that is out of reach as your body remains out of balance, right? Absolutely. When you're not getting enough sleep, enough water, enough or too much of anything, right? Out of balance. What do they say? The spirit is strong, but the flesh is weak. This is resolved by learning to care for the body physically, emotionally, energetically, and nutritionally. As your life comes into greater balance, you will likely sense true happiness, not as the end result of specific outcomes, but as the energy created by taking the time to truly care for yourself. So this is about self-love, and this is exactly what Twin Flames are here to teach us, right? Regardless of reason, season, lifetime, parent, sibling, lover, friend, boss, right? Teaching us how to love and take care of ourselves. This is so twin flamey, right? So for both sides, this is something that is imperative, and and you will feel happy. I mean, I get that. Like, that's why I do the yoga and the Wim Hof, and, you know, try and balance what I'm eating. You know, just take care of the body of Angelo Lyons, so the soul that has been chosen to incarnate here can do what he came here to do. It came here to do, gender neutral, right? So the last little bit here, this mantra is ideal for cultivating self-love, improving self-worth, and letting go of compulsive tendencies. And I will say, with the amount of fire, not so much, well, there's one fire, no, there's only one fire card in this whole reading. So it's not that, it's really that Aries thing of that impulsiveness, right? Now, these two might be very sexually attracted to each other, very romantically attracted to each other. I don't know that she's ready to jump yet. He's already really feeling it, but there's something about them needing to come into balance individually here for this to at least move forward, right? Make sure you're doing this in balance. So let's pull up the picture, sorry. Magic clap. We've got the storyteller here with the shadow attribute making up tales that harm others, perhaps even herself. The light attribute, an ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. And I can feel that in her, that she's sort of looking at the whole story of this relationship, and we'll look at a timeline in the extended past, present, future at least. And with the Ten of Cups there, she knows that she wants the full Megillah on this one. She wants to feel it all, perhaps the entire range, but particularly that ecstatic, blissful, in love with somebody vibe. And she is kind of standing, I feel, there on the edge of the cliff, so to speak, with that card of the dreamer, the fool in this deck, dreaming it, but not quite getting on her horse and moving across the stream into that new life on the other side. Because on her mind, she's really disciplined. Oh, I get that. There's a definite vibe of discipline here. Maybe watching the stories that she's telling, or, you know, allowing the stories to be told in her mind, but witnessing them and not getting so emotionally attached or involved to any particular outcome, as we see there in the moon. That might be part of the mental temperance, is allowing the moon to be a little bit amorphous. Now look, there's nothing wrong with not knowing what's going to happen, right? Come on, Belzy! Sorry, kitty cat's fighting upstairs. Hold on a second. false distress meow from the second floor. Sorry about that. You know that feeling you get in your gut as a cat mama? I just had that feeling, and it was a false thing. So anyway, the light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Like I said, I feel like she's keeping her eye on that, and it's okay to not know with that card of the moon of what to do next or where to go, or even if what she's feeling is biochemical, is it love, is it whatever, she knows what she wants. But it's okay to not know the intuitive response if this is something relatively new, which I would think with the card of the dreamer is right there. So the message of the soul there is for her to balance her mind, right? Keep an eye on the stories, right? Move from the more turbulent to less turbulent, right? From dramatic to more calm. Maybe that's an affirmative process of everything's going to be what it's going to be, but I really do think with the mantra, balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles, it's really going to benefit her. Where here, the twin to her, the divine masculine rebel, if you're the divine masculine rebel here, the shadow is rejecting legitimate authority out of anger, so keep that in mind, the anger piece, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion, but the light attribute challenges authority to effect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. I mean, and I feel like so on the money with this divine masculine, like he's such a sign of the times that we are in right now, that this strong focus of water for a divine masculine, it's almost like this is a divine masculine who's coming into contact and balance with their emotions, which is just like the divine feminine getting in touch with her fire, right? We've got the divine masculine here getting in touch with his water. Nine of Cups really wants this wish fulfillment. Like this might be something larger, in maybe not directly involving this divine feminine, but in general wants that wish fulfillment of the perfect partner to help them on in their revolution as a rebel. But I see there's this Three of Cups that really has this emotional bond. These two know each other. They have to know each other to have that Three of Cups sort of friendly foundation there. Now here it's the wedding of Psyche and Eros, but you know, the Three of Cups is not, yes, there's a celebration, there's definitely a coming together, a good vibe here between the two, and I think a nice foundation for a relationship. But keep in mind this is twin flame, and here we've got literally twin flames, the Two of Wands depicted there. Jason of Jason and the Argonauts deciding whether or not he is going to walk away from the quest given to him by Zeus, never a good idea, or go into the cave where Chiron, the wounded healer, the Hierophant card in this deck, the Centaur, is going to instruct him and prepare him for his quest, right? So that indecision, and that's, I mean, I can feel that for both of them here, that mentally, right, with the balance and that Two of Wands, they're really trying to at least be cool about this mentally, but emotionally he's got the Two of Cups, right? Emotionally he's in love, or at least his heart is open and moving in his direction, and may be willing to ignore some legitimate authority here. Hopefully he can challenge the authority that would keep him from being vulnerable, right? Because he's in chains. What's the word of the soul there? The voice of the soul, the point of view is the devil, right? There's conflict within. There is pulling against chains. There are limitations and restrictions, and maybe indeed some illegitimate constraints. Right? Like, so maybe willing to rebel against external ones, but maybe not so much the internal ones. And both of them must, one would think, be out of balance, right? Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. That they need to kind of look at their physical bodies. They need to look at where are they out of balance in their life individually here. Because otherwise we might be looking at a twin flame here where the rebel will pursue the storyteller but really be missing all the cues, right? Or at least feeling the cues, but being perhaps a bit over-emotional, a bit rash. And this is why we're going to go into, of course, the extended reading. But certainly, if they're wanting a life of infinite miracles, the key here is balance, and it feels like the divine feminine's already got some of that. Or at least in the process of cultivating it, right? So, there you have it, my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. There is your twin flame reading for mid-September, mid-October 2020. May you be blessed with all that you need to learn, to heal, to grow, to learn, to become the best that you can be, and fulfill your role in the divine plan, and fulfill this contract to whatever extent it exists, reason, season, or lifetime. So would be. Thank you so much for watching. Go jump over to the extended on Vimeo. There's a link. It's probably, knowing me, the first link that you will see in the description box below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, my darlings. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be. Hey there, my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Thank you so much for jumping over to Vimeo for the extended. Well, I feel like we've got our work cut out for us here, right? Got this divine feminine storyteller. Not so sure how she feels, but going through definitely a process here. Same thing here with the divine rebel. Like, he's thinking about it. He's got some indecision going on. That Two of Cups, that Two of Wands, conflict there between the mind and the heart. So what we're going to do now is we are going to add to this. We're going to take from the Healing with the Angels Oracle card, just one angel card here to start with. Who is the angel that you need to call upon, or that you could call upon, that's willing to help? You could say, what is the healing angel that's assigned to this contract, that whoever calls upon him first wins? Now, it doesn't work like that, but you sort of get the idea, right? It's sort of like, this is the angel that is stewarding, that's an interesting word, this contract to help you learn how to heal yourselves individually, right? So let's take a nice deep breath and ask the angels. My angels, please. One card in clarity. For this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, what is the angel they need to call upon? From the Healing with the Angels Oracle, right? What's the healing angel that either one of them can call upon to help themselves heal, to help themselves learn to love themselves, to respect themselves, to set boundaries, to just be who they are meant to be and do what they are meant to do in this twin flame contract, mid-September, mid-October 2020, or timeless. Okay, this will take a hot minute. The angel of children. What does it mean when a healing angel of children is here? Now, certainly if there are children here, like I said, plenty of people, particularly perhaps in younger ages, age ranges, will marry twin flames. The passion is high. Of course, they'll have kids, right? So that could be part of this. So that there's really going to have to be a calling in of the angels to really make sure that the kids are healed in this too. Now, if there are not children involved here, because I ain't got kids, and this card comes up plenty for me, then it is most likely referring to the innocence of your heart, healing inner child stuff. Like, inner child stuff got such a bad rap in the 90s because the shadow took it over, right? It's like, my inner child doesn't like you, so we're leaving. It's like, that's not what it's about. It's about giving that child of your heart the love that nobody else could or did give it, right? You being that for yourself. Reparenting was another name for inner child work at some point. And really, through the work of Matt Kahn, and we've got his mantra on the table there, this is your innocence. And through quantum healing, is the quantum field, the unity consciousness is one heart heals, all hearts heal. So you want to heal this relationship? Talk to that inner child, right? Talk to the child of your heart, your innocence. And I feel particularly for the divine masculine here, that's part of the thing. Like, they've got the emotions in play, but that child of them is afraid. The 4 survival archetypes that everybody has, there are only 4. The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. Again, Sacred Contracts, Carolyn Mace, read it. It's brilliant work. Timeless, too, in my opinion. The child has so much power that if it doesn't feel safe, it can slam the brakes on the best thing in the world for you, right? If it feels safe, it's the guardian of safety and innocence, the child archetype. It sees everything with new eyes and it's ready to jump in. Yeah. So for the divine feminine too, she's got to really, if that's the case, if there is an inner child thing here, there could be something similar there. But I feel like, I gotta say, 3 major arcana cards here, that there's a trust in the divine here, particularly with the Fool, right? There's that jumping into the new beginnings, the Temperance. So there is that balancing of the mind of what it is what we want and how we feel, particularly because she may not be completely sure about how she feels. So it feels like there's a bit of maturity here. But also, we can sometimes over-restrict the inner child out of our own fears of getting hurt, right? To not let the child feel everything, because that's not positive, right? Ooh, that's the low vibration. No, the child of our heart needs to be healed and heard regardless. All right, well, let's move on. Next thing we're going to look at, great fun, Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, is the card of the suit of the problem and essentially the other 3 suits of the remedy. So I'm going to get one for the whole thing. One, what's the big problem? And what's the remedy? And the remedies are the suit of grace, the suit of luck, and the suit of healing. So let's find out what's the problem. Nice deep breath.